Welcome to Hero Wars Info. My name is Ryan. Today I want to be going over and seeing if the free-to-play player would be able to get the Totem Grand Prize if they spent all of their resources on just going after that and that only. So first thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to be going into the event actual task list and going over the energy that every single player should be able to get. We start off with logging in each day. That's going to be 56 energy if you log in 7 days. I'm going to assume that every player can spend 3,000 emeralds. I think that is pretty available for everyone. That would be another 30 that you'd be able to get. Let's go ahead and say you can spend 40 archaeologist tools. That's going to be relatively conservative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's another 56. Great, 142. Then every single person should be able to finish this and should be finishing that. So that's 80, 96, 108, 116, 122, 126. Another 126 energy. Great. I'm going to say that if you are spending those emeralds that we talked about on Outland Chest, you should be able to get up to 50. So that's 13, 18, 22, plus 5, 27. Great, another 27. That's 295 total. You will be able to get for free up to the 100 chests. So let's go ahead and just say that. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 52, 56. 56 energy. And then if you are being very conservative, we're going to go ahead and say 8,000 energy. 18, 24, 29, 33, 36, 39. Okay. Now again, these are all very, very, very conservative numbers. I think most players should be able to go beyond that, but we're talking like bottom of the barrel, just started today. Would you be able to do it? I think most players, if not 100% of the players, should be able to get that. But that's not finished. We also get additional energy from the Adventure Showcase. That's 8 energy per day if you get the free 6 energy and the daily charge. So let's go ahead and add that. That's an 8 times a 7-day event. That is 56. And then we also are able to get 6 energy per day right here that every player should be getting. And that's going to be another 42. All right, so there we go. We have our full number, 488. Now, this does not include any gifts that Hero Wars sends out. It does not include if anyone in your guild buys a package and gives you additional medals. Anything like that. So 488 is the number that we're going to go ahead and put in. Now, luckily, Hero Wars guide has this handy little calculator. And it shows how much energy on hand and the possible amount of buff that you can get based off of that. So the free-to-play player, 488. The current ring evolution is 1. I went ahead and put 7 chrome metal and 3 pyrite in. Again, free-to-play players should be able to get this. If we go to the workshop, if we go to the Path of Glory, you can see here like chrome metal's here, and I think it was the pyrite is right here. So it's given to you. It's given to you for free. No player should have any problems getting that. This is assuming you're not buying anything. So I went ahead and put those numbers in, and we're going to calculate. So looks like the most possible buff is right here. It requires 162 energy to get to level 4 on the ring. And then from there, you would be able to get to 450 possible buff. Is that enough? So let's go ahead, go to the guide also here, and let's look up the lowest amount of buff that you can possibly have. Now, this can go down. Please wait on this. Please, please, please wait on this until the final days to make sure that if it goes down, you can save energy. So we're going to start with 220 because that's the first one that requires a buff, 5. Then 230, 60. 240 is free. 250 is 10. 260, 35 is the lowest so far. 270, 95 is the lowest so far. 280, 135. 290, 50. And lastly, 180. So it would cost you 570 buff. We currently have 480, or we can get 450. So we do have a discrepancy here of around 120 buffs. How can we solve that? Well, number one, potentially this could go down and get you less buff. If you can already, based off of what you're trying to, you can get to this level, which is everything except for the totem. But let's go ahead and be a little bit more aggressive and say, let's go ahead and say up the spending levels a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and add some of the stuff that we didn't. Let's say you are able to spend 7,000. That's 1,000 per day. Hopefully everyone has that amount, but that adds another 20 adventure energy. Let's say you spend up to 50 archaeologist tools. That's another 8. Let's say you also are able to open these chests in the tower. That's another 8. And instead of going this adventure energy, let's push. Use all your bottled energy that you possibly have. That would be another 30, 60 here. That gets you to another 96 on top of the 488 that we already have. So 96 plus 488 equals 584. We put 584 in here, calculate. Possible buff you can get to. Best value is level 4 on the ring. Possible buff is 585. 585 is more than you need for all of this. So is it possible for a free-to-play player, if they push on some of these tasks, to get the free totem? Absolutely it is. In fact, you should be able to do it. Now my best guess is that these are going to continue to go down as more teams are found, hopefully. But even if they're not, I also think that Hero Wars is probably going to send out some adventure energy throughout the week that would be able to help get you to where you need to go. And if for whatever reason you still don't have enough, you should be able to push a little bit harder. Most people probably could spend a little bit maybe more in emeralds, maybe get some more archaeologist tools to push you to where you need to go to get the max amount of resources. Now, what is important is that make sure you're upgrading your Ring of Abundance first, right? Like that's the most important thing. And I actually didn't even put in the additional 3 here and here that you get. So if we go ahead and do that real quick, and that's Asterium, and I think Skylight, right? Yeah, Asterium and Skylight. Let's put those in. Yeah, and it's going to be even more possible buff that you can get. So, if you push, you should be able to get the totem if you're doing everything right, but wait. Please, please, please wait until the end of the event. Make sure that you can use as few resources as possible, but it looks like this event is going to be very nice. So if the totem is the thing that you're going after, I think you're probably going to be able to get there. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.